Hello and welcome to the new Sondars Riding Adventure channel. I'm starting up a new channel on YouTube. We are riding these e-bikes from Sondars. We got very interested in these because our daughter who purchased one and some friends of hers have them. And so we decided, we're getting kind of up there in age and riding a standard bicycle is really getting hard on us, my wife particularly. So we bought these. We've been riding them around for a little bit, getting used to them, and we're very, very impressed. You can choose to use it as a ride assist or just full throttle. Still want to stay somewhat in shape, so I just use a ride assist where it becomes a little too strenuous for hills, so forth and so on. But I'm not going to go into the Sondars bike itself and the details. There's plenty of that on YouTube as it is. But what I am going to show you is we're going to set these up for recording our adventures. We do a lot of camping, trail riding, things of that sort. And so what I'm going to do is adapt it for that purpose. So what I've done already is, I've added a Ramex mount. This is going to mount my phone so I can monitor the camera should I choose to do that. And of course, lights for legal riding at night, so forth and so on. The camera that I'm specifically going to be using for this is the Insta360 One R. Absolutely wonderful camera. It's modular. I've got the 1-inch mod for night shots, low light shots. I've got the 4K, which is your standard adventure camera, and then I have the 360 module, which does 360 recordings. That piece of it is phenomenally good. And if you go on the YouTube and you look under Insta360 One R, you'll find lots of videos on how to do things. I've never got into the adventure cameras. I never owned a GoPro. When I saw this one, I was very intrigued, so I picked one up, and now I think I'm going to modify the bike, or actually add components, so I can record all of our rides. So, okay, so here I have the equipment I'm going to be using. This is the Insta360 selfie stick. This one's actually designed for bullet time. However, it's a longer stick than the standard Insta360, and it does lock in place, so it's good enough to use as well. In this particular case, this is the Insta360 One R, and this is the mod with the 360 camera. And then we have the Manfrotto Super Clamp, which has a 33-pound payload. This thing is heavy duty. It's awesome. It fits just about anywhere you want to put it. And use this specifically for this bike because I found other things just simply were not robust enough, or when it came to going off on trails, they simply just would not hold up. So these are the three things we're going to be installing, and our next segment is going to be showing you how I install those and what it looks like after they're installed before we go on our ride. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is going to show you how we're going to convert this over to use the 1/4-20 adapter. So we're going to remove this from the clamp for now. We're going to take this, we're going to flip it around. You really don't need this. We're going to loosen this up to where it's no longer inside there. We're going to push this spring clip in, put this in to where the 1/4-20 is out, let go here, retighten this, and now we have a 1/4-20 adapter ready to go. Okay, so here we have the Manfrotto Super Clamp, and because we have the bag, fenders, and the rack installed on these particular bikes, it's actually a very convenient place to put this clamp. Through trial and error, what I figured out is the best place for it is to fit on this lower rack, or this lower brace, and then as you tighten the clamp up, you keep sliding it along here. You want to be against this angle, so what it does is it prevents it from trying to rotate when you're moving around, especially if you're in pretty jumpy areas off-road. Then you clamp this thing down, and this thing isn't going to move. It's not going anywhere. It's got quite the holding power. And my quarter 20, of course, is out here, puts my selfie stick away from the bag. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the selfie stick and we're going to thread it onto here. Move things out of the way a little bit. Now that selfie stick is now locked in place. It's not going to go anywhere. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to get this selfie stick exposed. Now, because I chose and used a bullet time selfie stick, it doesn't slide out and just lock in place per se, because it's actually made more for horizontal, and so as you're doing a centrifugal force, it stays out no problem. So what we got to do is we got to extend it all the way out. This one has 4 segments, and then you want to twist it to get it out of that groove, and it locks it in place. Doesn't hurt it, but it does definitely lock it in place. And then it gets up here. Now you see this is pretty high, and then we still have yet the camera to put on. So now we take the One R, we thread it on, keep a good hold on it. You don't want to drop this camera. And you snug it up real good and tight. Now, the beauty about the 360 is you don't care where it's pointing. It's not like a single camera adventure camera, and you have to be aware of where it's pointing and what your field of view is at all times. This sees everything in 360 simultaneously. So in post-processing, you pick the point of interest and you tag it so that when you post this on YouTube or wherever, Facebook, the viewer sees what you want them to see. And of course there's always a 360 panorama mode, so forth and so on. But in this particular case, because it sees everything, and we're going down trails or wherever the case would be, or today just a quick tour through the neighborhood, you want to point out certain things. And so so what it does is it eliminates, where's this thing pointing? How am I, where do I know it's pointing at any given time? You don't care. This is so wonderful about this type of camera. And it's high def, and it does an extremely job in stitching. The cool thing about the 160 or the 360 One R is it doesn't see the selfie stick. It actually, the AI takes it out, so it looks like there's a little drone following you around. I also have a 10-foot selfie that gets it way up there, and they make longer ones than that, so it does look like it's a drone. And I don't need a drone's license to do it. So it's great, it's wonderful. So now you see it's all put together, it's ready to go. See it all here all the way down. Nothing's in the way, nothing's going to snag, nothing's going to grab me. My feet are way up here. So how about us go for a ride and let's see what it does. Okay, so here we go. This is starting out in one of the local parks. Got everything mounted. I do have it on my Tennyson 10-foot pole, but I've got it arranged to only about half that height. Turns out the bullet time selfie stick does not work. It collapsed on me on the first ride repeatedly. So it went back, took it out, swapped it out for my Tennyson 10-foot pole, and it got adjusted to 5 feet. However, because of how it works with the carbon fiber, it doesn't lock into place in each segment, so the camera will actually rotate on up top. So I got a little bit of tape to hold it in place. So I'm going to end up looking for a dedicated 5 to 6 foot selfie stick that locks in place in the future. But for today, this should pretty much work. So I'm going to hope you enjoy the ride, and we'll play some music, and we'll talk to you after the ride's over. So it's a couple of days later, ending up this video. Hope you enjoyed the music, hope you enjoyed the ride. In the future, I'm planning on many more of these, especially as we take the bikes, load them up in a truck, go to different trails, different places, and share those. So leave any comments, feedback. I know I'm new at this, so for you guys that do this a lot, you look at this and go, oh my God, that's terrible. However, eventually we all get better. Enjoy life, and we will talk to you in the next video. Thank you.